Good afternoon, everyone. So my topic for today is cancer dodging foods, basically meaning how to prevent cancer, what we should eat to prevent cancer. So in this topic, first of all, I would like to begin with this quote by Hippocrates, who was a Greek physician, where he said, "Let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food." So let food, what we eat, be the medicine and keep our diseases away, but not medicines or different forms of supplements, which is happening currently for people. And we are eating unhealthy food, but eating more of supplements. So let's see how we can follow this quote and let's make food as our medicine. So first of all, looking at the cancer data, it is very general. So first thing, as you notice here in this slide, I am telling you about that the cancer is the second leading cause of death, first being the cardiovascular diseases. They say that every sixth death in the world is due to cancer. And Asia has about, combining Asian population, it has, the incidence is about 48.4% of cases, whereas in Europe and America, it is 44.4. Even though when we combine the population over there, we still have a higher population. So this shows that in developed parts of the world, that is Europe and America, the incidence of cancer is much higher. Generally, globally, they say that lung cancer, followed by breast, then colorectal, prostate, and stomach are the 5 major cancers which the world is facing right now. And maximum deaths are seen in number 1, lung cancer, followed by the prostate, the stomach, and the breast. Now looking at Hong Kong data. So in Hong Kong data, as we can see, in 2016, they saw that colorectal cancer, lung, and breast cancer were the major cancers which people reported. And in 2017, the top 10 female cancers is number 1 is the breast, whereas in males, it is the colorectal cancer. And they're saying that by 2030, this number, the total number of cases of all the cancer amongst the Hong Kong population is bound to increase by about 35%. Why is this going to happen? They say it is because of number 1, in Hong Kong, you have a population which is aging. So the immune system is relatively weaker. Our susceptibility to fall sick is much higher. And number 2, it is because of the lifestyle and the kind of food we are eating. They are the trigger factors wherein they say that the cancer numbers are bound to increase. So here is a small diagram which talks about what are the common cancer causes. So the agents or the organisms basically which cause cancer are called as the carcinogen. So I would be using this term in my presentation further quite often. So just wanted to make it clear. So if you see in this diagram, alcohol, obesity, smoking, and diet. So diet is about 30 to 35%, which can lead to cancer. And when we combine diet, smoking, obesity, and alcohol, roughly it is about 65 to 70%, which means 70% is basically our lifestyle related. But genes only contribute about 5 to 10%. Other is the infections from various viruses, some kind of radiations, as well as people who work industries like asbestos or silicon industries, where they are predisposed to lung cancers. So 70% lies in our hands. So what are the cancer risk factors? So first of all, non-modifiable is what we do not have control. Number 1 is the age. As we age, our immune system is weaker, generally tends to get weak. Genetics, if we have inherited that gene, nowadays gene testing is available in every part of the world, and people get their testings done to rule out if they do carry that gene, so they can be extra careful. Family history, if we have a family history of any cancer. Earlier, it used to be just the parents and grandparents, but now science has become so advanced that they also ask you for niece, distant cousins, grandparents, if they suffered from any cancer before. So what we can modify, what is in our hands? I've made a short acronym for this. D is for diet, I is for inactivity, E is for examination, T is for tension, which is stress, and S is for smoking. So this is what is in our hands and how we can change it in order to prevent cancer. So first of all, I will start with diet. Number one is diet. So to prevent cancer, number one is eat a lot of fiber. That is whole grains, oats, barley, bran, brown rice. They are the different forms of whole grain, different forms of fibers which are available. As in my previous sessions, I told you, they not only they lower the inflammation, they increase the gut transit time. So by which I mean they stay in the intestine for a longer period of time, make you feel full longer, and helps in controlling your weight. Then you have, and also the biggest point is, if they stay in the gut for a longer period of time, the fruits and vegetables, they also decrease the contact of the carcinogen. They flush off the carcinogens because they don't come in contact with the layers of the intestine. The family of broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, which is called as the cruciferous family, has been proven that they contain a sulfur compound which is highly cancer preventive. Lots of berries available like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. They all are powerful antioxidants. Mediterranean diet, a diet which is commonly consumed from the Mediterranean region of people, which is more of legumes, nuts, seeds, lean meats, and their red meat is occasionally taken, lots of good quality of olive oil. It has been proven that the Mediterranean diet is not only good for cancer prevention, but also in management of heart diseases, whether it's high cholesterol issues or any other heart ailments. Then you have legumes and beans. In Hong Kong, we are very lucky that we get all kinds of different beans as well as legumes available. It is a very good source of animal protein. It is a very good alternate for animal protein, as well as containing dietary fiber and various minerals as well as essential vitamins. They will keep us full for a longer period of time also, and at the same time do not help us in controlling our weight, so which will not lead us to obesity. Then you have soy products. In soy, this has traditionally been a part of traditional Asian diet in the form of edamame, soy milk. So different forms of tofus are available. And this soy has been controversial for a while because it's very old in Asia, people eat. But in America as well as European countries, the intake has gradually increased. So they conducted studies over there and they saw that it might increase the cancer risk, but here they say it is a very good source. It is controversial because these soy products, they basically act like human estrogen hormone, but it contains these phytochemicals, which are basically the flavonoids, and they prevent the cancer cell growth. So we are very fortunate that we get different varieties of tofu. Edamame is currently available, which are nice, fresh and green, which you can use them in your cooking on daily basis. And they are very helpful in preventing cancer. Then you have organosulfur. Here I mean to talk about this allium cepa family, which consists of spring onions, garlic, leaves, and chives. They basically increase the production of cancer-destroying enzymes, as well as decrease the activity of the chemicals which can cause cancer. They feed on free radicals, as you have seen, like vultures or any carnivore animal which feed on the dead decomposed body of an animal. The same way, these sulfur compounds tend to feed on these free radicals which are released by the toxins, which are released as toxins in our body. Omega-3. So by omega-3, I mean the deep sea fish. They are the oily fish like salmon, halibut, tuna, cod. If you are consuming them, just a request that hopefully they are sustainable sources. You are buying them from sustainable sources. So they are very good in preventing cancer, and as they prevent the cancer cell growth. Another substitute, if you don't want to consume from fish, is nuts. A wide variety of nuts, almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts, Brazil nuts. Consuming them of about 30 grams per day, which is like half a cup a day, a mixture of nuts, will do no harm. They're also considered not only good for cancer prevention, but also for treating depression, Alzheimer's disease, maintaining your cholesterol issues, decreasing inflammation as well. Green tea, highly consumed in parts of Asia. So they also contain these compounds which are called as catechins or EGCG, and they act as very powerful antioxidants. And there was a study where they saw that about 100 grams of tea leaves, which were consumed by patients for 5 months in the form of tea, it improved their cancer survival rates. So it is a very good, powerful antioxidant, and it is highly consumed by people here in Asia. Then comes the biggest part where everybody is, saying that please decrease your red meat as well as processed meat. Processed meat here means these sausages, the links, the frankfurters, or the luncheon meat, as well as decrease your intake of red meat. Since 2015, the Cancer Body, which does research on cancer, has certified that they are the known carcinogen. That means they are prone to cause cancer. Especially processed meat, they say there are about 800 research papers where they have done extensive studies, and they have shown that 50 grams of processed meat per day, say like one link or two sausages a day, can increase your chance of cancer by 18%, especially the colorectal cancer. Why is it so? So basically, when you go in the supermarkets, you must have seen on the food labels of sausages and all, they add, which is something called as nitrates or nitrites. So why? It so happens that the meat, the protein part, reacts with these chemicals which are added, which is nitrates and nitrites, and they form these nitrosamines. And this compound, chemical, is known to cause cancer in the future. When we fry the protein in a animal meat at very high temperature, barbecuing that charred look, the well done, when we heat this protein at a very high temperatures, beyond 150 degrees Celsius, it leads to formation of these hydrocarbons, which are known carcinogens. So please cut down, try to cut down on processed meat as much as possible. It will do more harm to us. And if you consume red meat in different forms, say lamb, pork, duck, goose, beef, if it is 3 times in a week, please cut it down to at least once a week. The other one is decreased intake of saturated fat. So by saturated fat here, I mean to say excessive intake of butter, cheese, as well as dairy. In some animal studies, they have seen that it acts as a cancer promoter. Because what happens is the fat which is present in these cheese or butter, it gets oxidized and it gets stored in our body. And also when people are obese, when they have a lot of weight gain with these saturated fat consumption, this excessive fat, which is stored in the body, it increases the secretion of estrogen hormones. And this hormone tends to increase our cancer risk, especially in women, that too breast cancer. That was about what we eat. Then how do we move? So physical activity is also very important. So try to be physically active, engage in exercising, aerobic forms, muscle strengthening activities at least twice a week, balance training. Right now, pools and gyms are shut, but weather is nice. So if you get an opportunity to go for brisk walks, you should go. Gradually increase if you are not exercising quite often, your muscles are sore. Give them some time and increase the intensity in due course of time. This will help you in keeping your weight also at check. Number 3, very important, examinations. After a certain age, we should get our regular tests done, scans or blood analysis done to rule out any abnormalities. Our body really gives us signs, and we should listen to these signs and always do not delay our doctor appointments. It is very important. Then comes managing stress. That's the reason why we have these meditation and yoga sessions. It really helps us in calming us down, decreasing our stress levels. Be mindful of what actions we are doing, whether it is eating. As in this picture, you can see, listen to some music, meditate, exercising, playing with a pet, talking to friends. If you need any help from a counselor, do not feel shy. Talk about it. Better not to keep it inside, because all these things also will tend to increase our cortisol levels, which will further weaken our immune system and which can increase our susceptibility to trigger increase the risk of which can lead to cancer. So in the end, I would like to conclude that these are the 7 points, most important points, which we all need to follow, which can definitely help in preventing cancer. Being physically fit, avoiding unnecessary weight gain, not being obese, try to balance the calorie intake in relation with the physical activity. Try to consume a healthy diet, more focus on plant-based sources as well as whole grains, fruits and vegetables. Limit consuming energy-dense foods or fast foods. Cut down if you go out to McDonald's, KFCs, and all these places. Cut it down gradually. Limit the excessive intake of salty foods, which is not good for the heart, as well as the salt-cured foods like the cured sausages and all, which eventually they say in scientific studies can trigger nasopharyngeal cancers. Limit alcohol intakes. Excessive intake of alcohol also is not good for liver, and further it can trigger the different forms of, can increase the action of the cancer-causing carcinogens. A glass of red wine is highly beneficial. I would not say 2 drinks per day for a man or 1 drink for a woman is doable. Even the various cancer associations recommend that. The guidelines recommend this. And also avoid smoking. Smoking is a classified carcinogen. So these are the 7 things which we can do and try and be physically fit as well as possible so that we can prevent cancer. It is totally up to us. So what we can do in our hands. Thank you.